Hello friends, my name is Chris Orwig. I am a Sony artisan, a photographer, author, and teacher. And in this tutorial, I want to talk about how we can use Lightroom in order to improve the color and tone in this photograph. This image was captured with the Sony A9 with the 50-1.4. You can see the image is backlit. The sun's coming up right over the subject's shoulder here. And what I want to do is I want to brighten up the subject in this area here and also modify the color and tone. To do that, we'll talk about how we can work with the basic panel and the split toning controls. All right, well, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and just increase my exposure a little bit to kind of brighten up and lift the overall brightness in the image. Then I'll go down to my shadow slider, drag that to the left, and that will darken that area. Drag it to the right, it will brighten it right up. If I go too far, it will wash everything out. So you want to be careful not to go too far. And because it has brightened everything, I've lost a little bit of the density of the image. So I'm going to bring up my contrast. That will also help to bring out a little more of the color saturation as well. Okay, well, so far so good. The image is looking better. It's a little bit brighter, more balanced. Except what I need to do is I need to make sure I have good detail in the image. One way to do that is to go up to your histogram and just click on these icons right here for shadows and highlights. These will show us if there's any clipping. The clipping indicator here, which is red, is showing me that I have a problem in my highlights. Now, if I exaggerate for a moment and change the black slider, you can see I also have a area which is blue. That's saying, hey, I have a problem in that part of the image. Now, it's kind of tedious to go up and click on these triangles every time. So a better way to turn those on and off is with the J key. Tap the J key and that will toggle the visibility of those on and off. Now, if you see that indicator turn on, you can then modify the slider, in this case the blacks, in order to brighten up the blacks a little bit. For the white or the brighter tones, I can use highlights and white, so I can just bring those down and you can see how I can diminish or get rid of that area which was overexposed, where there wasn't any detail. And because I've corrected that, this image will now print well. And so as you make your changes, let's say if you brighten it up a little bit more, bring up more shadows, or change the contrast, you may see that you need to go back and modify one of these sliders so that it works. All right, well, so far, the color and tone is looking better, except I want to fine tune this so that the color looks a little bit more warm California vibe. So to do that, we'll close basic and go down to split toning. Inside of split toning, we have the ability to work on our highlights or brighter colors or tones, and our shadows or the darker tones in the image. The way that these controls work is like this. You have hue, which modifies color, so you can drag this around. Then you have saturation, which is kind of like intensity. Let me exaggerate for a moment so that we can deconstruct this a little bit. You can see that this color, whatever it is, in this case purple, and I know that looks bad, but just stick with me for a second, that is affecting the darker tones. The sky hasn't changed color. You can see how it's just that area. So what you want to do is try to find a color that might work. In this case, I'm going to leave my hue right there and bring in a little bit of reds into the shadows. The shadow color temperature can often be too cool, so I want to warm that up and create a warmer feeling in the photograph. I want to do the same with my highlights, except this time I want to share with you a great trick. Rather than moving your hue slider and saturation and trying to find the right value there, what you can do is you can leave saturation at 0, then press and hold the Option key on Mac, Alt on Windows, and drag the hue slider around. That will show you the hue at 100% saturation. The reason why this is important, if I want to choose yellow, which I do, I can now find the right yellow, not a green yellow or an orange yellow, but just a nice, pure, bright yellow. Then I let go of Option or Alt. Now, in a more subtle way, I'm just bringing up my saturation. And the reason that's important is because if you crank this up to try to find the right yellow, your eyes might get used to having a lot of yellow, and then maybe you'll think this looks good, which might be too high. But if you start from a lower value and then incrementally bring it up so it's a little bit more subtle, sometimes that can help you to have better results. And either way, it helps you to work faster. Okay, all right, well, we just want to modify a few of these adjustments. I think that looks good there. And last but not least, I want to talk about how we can view our before and after. Let me share with you 2 ways to do that. One is to press the Y key. That will show you this view, a split view, or a side-by-side or top and bottom view. you can toggle between these just by pressing the Y key, then Shift Y, and that will change those views. Press the Y key again, and it will remove that view from the window. You can also press the backslash key. That's the slash which leans to the left, and that will show you your before and after. All right, well, on that note, that wraps up this tutorial where we looked at how we can improve the color and tone in this photograph using Lightroom. Hey, thanks so much for joining me in this tutorial. Hope to see you in another one. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.